Okay, hi everybody. Today we're going to be talking about the Flash Season 9, Episode 4, Mask of the Red Death Part 1, I believe. And it's not going to be much of a review this week. It's going to be mostly ranting. I nearly didn't even make this review. I was thinking, well, I don't want to watch it again just to make a review. I'll just wait till next week. And then I'll just do it all in one, things like that. But I was like, no. I promised to put it up, so let's put it up. So let's get the good things out of the way first, because there are very, very few of them, right? So the first thing is Grant Gustin, always a win, smashes it every week, always delivers on what he's given. Joe, Jesse L. Martin, he was amazing, and the guy that plays Mark, he was really good this week. I forget his name. Iris did a good job too. Obviously Chester, he's great too. So okay. So those are the few things that were good. A few curious things. Things I'm curious about. Who is Wookiee Lover 77? It's going to be really funny if that turns out to be Cisco. I say that, but it's going to be a bit annoying as well, because they were questioning, I think, who Killer Frost was at the one time, and thought they were twins with Caitlin, so probably not. So, okay. That's the good stuff. That was it, right? Maybe the suit up bit for Red Death, right? But even that wasn't without its issues. Okay, so I know it's a comic book world and everything else, but Ryan's only been missing for a couple of weeks, and then she turns up with the whole white thing in her hair. How's that not a red flag for Iris, who's like a smart investigative reporter? You know what I mean? That should have been the first thing she's talking about. I understand that they need to have. Let her in. Jinx, let her in. Jinx, come on. I understand they need to have like a visual distinction for viewers, like when she's going to turn up probably this week. But yeah, like that's the whole thing for me. Red Death isn't a hero by any stretch. She's kind of gone into this territory that Batman of Earth 99 or something was from. You know, Kevin Conroy's one where he says, "Battle not with monsters, lest you become a monster." That's what she has become. She's become like the whole Minority Report of her Earth, right? And that in itself is a whole issue, right? Because she says, "Oh, I don't like criminals. I kill criminals." But her whole thing is working with criminals, using them. How does that work? It goes against her whole thing. Do you know what I mean? Like, to the point where she was even working against the heroes and stealing from them, her allies, which she talks about the other Flash seeing too much good in a hero, hit the villains, and stabbing the friends in the back. But there you are, stealing data and possibly speed from the Flash of your Earth. You know, so the hypocrisy is endless with this one. Yeah, so her whole thing just doesn't make sense. I know villains aren't supposed to make sense, like for the most part. Do you know what I mean? Because like they're kind of broken, and they, you know. But like, say like Killmonger, do you know what I mean? He wasn't wrong. He was wrong in his methods, like he was very violent, but he wasn't wrong. Do you know what I mean? Which is why T'Challa in the end was like, okay, well, you were right. I'm just going to do it my way, you know? So villains don't always have to be wrong in being wrong, you know? So it's a whole thing. It's a whole thing. I don't know. Also, I'm pretty sure the rogues have killed people to get Red Death what she wants. Yet she is the red glare or the red flash that a killer sees before they die. She is vengeance. She is the night. She is Red Death. But she's not only aiding and abetting, but like facilitating and enhancing and delegating to these people. So, do you know what I mean? It's just nothing but problems. It's nothing but problems at the moment. So okay, Ryan's suit, right? The whole using it while not using it. I didn't like that, right? So Sabotage suit, it had like a function where like he was in trouble, the suit came over to help, flung him off, he got straight into the suit. He wasn't sat there having two conversations. Do you know what I mean? With two different people moving in two different ways. Do you know what I mean? If for example, like there was like a call and response thing that she'd like timed out, or that would be terrible. Um, but say for example, if the suit was mirroring Ryan's actions, do you know what I mean? That would like make a bit more sense. But it's acting completely on its own person because that's what she's thinking. But still, like Iris isn't dumb. Do you know what I mean? So you're gonna have to really kind of pay attention if you're trying to fool her. You know what I mean? You're gonna have to keep on your game, be on your toes. Her whole like last 9-10 years have been crazy and a lot of subterfuge in there. So she's gonna be alert. She's gonna be on her game, especially right now. You know, so you're gonna have to be on your game to get her off her game, right? So having that at the same time as you're giving your whole villainous speech, walking around being menacing, using the speed force. What the hell? It shouldn't happen. It shouldn't happen. And it looked so goofy. It looked so goofy when she took the helmet off. Honestly, it just nothing but problems. Nothing but problems. Um, Also felt like that somebody should have been affected by the EMP blast. Do you know what I mean? It's a whole big like boom of negative speed force energy, but has done nothing to nobody. And like it breaks windows, right? Um, and um, Ryan turns up hurt, and Iris is like, okay, cool. So the fact that like, oh, it can hurt people is a thing. So the fact that, do you know what I mean? Apparently has hurt nobody, unless that's how they're gonna say that. That's where her whole death count comes from. Do you know what I mean? But made it, oh, Red Death's reign of terror was a thunderclap. Boom. That was it. That's it. That's it. We might get something next week. Given the last 3 episodes, I'm not holding out much hope. I'm holding out all my hope. I'm putting all my eggs in the finale. You know what I mean? Everybody's going to be there. All the big players, and well, most of the big players. So that's where I am. Okay, so the implication I'm getting is that she's from another Earth because she keeps talking about worlds, right? But it's not. It's not. It's another timeline, which is why she needs a cosmic treadmill. But she keeps using world and timeline like synonymously when we know that's not like it technically is right, but it shouldn't be how it is used in the Flash, right? Because my world can be anything, but like my world that isn't your world would usually refer to another Earth. Do you know what I mean? Or like obviously a home planet of some description, but like a parallel Earth is what we've been used to. So to sit there and keep talking about my world when you're talking about a timeline just feels off, you know. And this deep into the game, I don't know. You just think they would have, like, I don't know, written that a little bit better. Also, why are we calling the rogues? Why are we calling the rogues? there are, again, so many heroes. There are so many heroes. And if Red Death's whole thing was lying to people, right? Lying to Iris, right? If she was so against villains that she's there going to be killing them before they commit any crime, surely she would take that part a step further and then just go and lie to everybody else. Do you know what I mean? But no, both of them are calling the villains. Both are calling the villains. I understand the Flash is really big on redemption and things like that, but calling your villains over, say, a whole bunch of your teammates, I don't get. I really don't get. This episode had fantastically terrible writing. So when Barry is all tied up and Red Death's there, and she's like, "Oh, that's how you think I got my powers, Flash? You think I'm the Herald?" Excuse me. I'm the Herald of the Dark Cosmos. But no, I'm something much more powerful. And then takes her suit off. And what she's saying is, no, I'm not a speedster chosen by a cosmic force. I'm just a normal person in a suit. I'm way more powerful than you are. Okay. Just a normal person in a suit. I scratched my own arm up a bit. Needed Iris to bandage it, but I'm way more powerful than a chosen avatar of a speed force. Negative or otherwise. Okay. So when she's like, there's no such thing as a reformed criminal, she literally says there's no such thing, and she's looking at the hotness. The hotness is doing great, whatever. Still wouldn't call him over somebody else that I've worked with a hero, you know what I mean? Especially when there is a gallery of them. But anyway, so she's like, there's no such thing as a reformed villain, but she's working with like 4 of them. Not even, no. She's not even working with the reform ones. She's not even working with the reform ones. She's working with the ones that are just straight out villains. But she's okay with that, but wants to kill the other ones. So she picks and chooses. Okay. Even if she kills him in the end, right? Even if she kills him in the end and goes, aha, I was just using them. Ha ha ha, aren't I evil, right? That's still not okay because they've killed people. They've committed crimes. Just because you're trying to get home, you're still doing what you're fighting against. Make up your mind. Where did Iris get that gun? It's supposed to be from Armageddon. How did she get it? Yeah, again, right? She says world and timeline interchangeably, and I don't like it. I don't like it. It's not right for the language of the show. For me anyway, and what I'm used to. Right. So, my question is she's talking about a timeline as opposed to a world, right? Or I don't know. We could be either one with her at this point. We don't know. But who is her Flash, right? So, obviously, her whole narrative is false. I say obviously her whole narrative is false. She chose 2 of them, and both of them could have been false. But if one of them is right, say like Barry's one's right, and then she's like, "Oh, you," and if she's talking about you, the Flash, not you, Barry, always seeing the better in the villains and stabbing your friends in the back. Did she mean that because he wouldn't relinquish his speed, or did she mean that because Eobard Thawne was the Flash on her world, and obviously he was a villain, so probably would have looked out for the villains. I don't know. Probably not. It's probably Barry, and she probably meant because he always looks to give people second chances and stuff. So she's from a third timeline then. So not the one we're in now, not reverse Flashpoint. She's from a third timeline where it's basically treated like the negative universes, the negative multiverse. Because that's basically Bruce Wayne's storyline up to the point where he straps him to the Speed Force, and then the whole universe just starts breaking down, crumbling, and dying. So it's a third world then, negative or positive, I don't know. We're going to again find out next week, hopefully. I doubt too much is going to happen next week. A lot needs to happen next week. A lot of explanation, a lot of action, a lot of excitement, and a lot of death. But given the attention that has been given into what, I am not that confident. But despite this week's episode, right, because it's The Flash, because it's this show that I've sat there for like 9 years now and loved the whole time, I'm still really excited about next week. I'm not hopeful that something great's going to come out, but I'm still excited to see what we get. I'm still there. I'm just like, oh, I can't wait. I can't wait. They just, I can't wait. I can't wait to find out. I love The Flash. It's even, I have problems with this episode, right? But it's not to say that the show is bad. It's not to say that I'm going to stop watching it or I hate watch it or anything like that. It's still an amazing show and I love nearly every minute of it. So I'm interested to see how Ryan created the negative Speed Force. Obviously data from Barry. But I'm interested as to why hers is red. Obviously, they needed the red lightning to sit there and trick Barry to thinking the whole avatar for the Mr. 8 to give the episode a bit longer. But when Barry created the artificial Speed Force, the lightning was white, as you will remember. I'm not going to give you the Eric Wallace flashback, so don't worry. But it was a white lightning, right? So is that because, like, he was draining his emotion? It was draining his emotions, and he was just becoming more, quote unquote, robotic, or and she's leaning into it, and the reason she created it is for vengeance and things like that. I'm not sure. Obviously, it's probably just like a design choice, but it'd be nice if there was like a logical reason to it, and if they actually put some thought into it. But you know, whatever. So the Speed Force threw a Red Death or Ryan into this timeline. Right now, that's a really big issue because one, why would she be running into the Speed Force if she has red lightning, which is the implication of negative Speed Force, artificial or otherwise? So why would it be the Speed Force that she's trying to run into? And A, how did it even accept her to throw it out? And B, why did it throw her out in this timeline? And something I saw from Eric's tweets is why would the Speed Force not even warn Barry at all? Do you know what I mean? It's supposed to see him like a son and family, but not even a phone call, you know? Can get there in flash of a lightning, but nah, he can handle this. Don't worry about it. It'll make him stronger. So why the positive Speed Force over the negative Speed Force? You know, how did she get in it? How did she get in it? Secondly, I'm pretty sure that Barry's artificial Speed Force was a giant ass machine. I know they're saying that she has advanced technologies on her Earth and timeline, but that's still a massive leap. A massive leap. A giant machine that needed like a incredible source of power and just kept going round and round like the arc reactor would have been. That's all happening in a suit. Okay. Okay, so when Iris was stood there and Red Death was being threatening, I genuinely think that if Barry had any sense in this scene, and it's again due to bad writing, that he could have gotten away, right? She doesn't have organic speed, right? So there's some things that he can do that she can't, right? One of those might be like being in flash time. Obviously, she can run really fast and stuff and get there, but whether she can just like instantly just turn it on and just be in flash time, like naturally, because as well, she's still going to have like normal human reactions, and he's going to have like superhuman reactions because of who he is naturally, right? Like in my head, because it's the suit powering her, she still needs like human until like she activates the speed force in the suit. She still needs like the human length of time to connect it. Do you know what I mean? Like of thinking, right, better charge up, I better do this, I better do that. Right, now I'm starting to think faster because the speed force is flowing through me. Otherwise, like she's going to constantly be going like maybe, I don't know. But the point is Barry being a natural speedster, I'm sure could have turned his speed force on just a bit faster, had his like super thinking, right? Quickly hit Red Death, right? Grabbed Iris, and then phased and gone through the ground. And I'm pretty sure that they wouldn't have been found because how are you going to see in the goddamn ground? You know what I mean? So I think they would have got away if they thought about it for a second, you know? Excuse me. I think as well that they're going to say next episode that Ryan's been given super speed because she got hit by the lightning of super speed from Barry. And enough energy of Barry's that he weren't able to run anywhere. So it's a good 90-95% of his speed if he can't run, right? Obviously, he's going to recharge. It's the Flash. He's great. It's amazing, whatever. But 95, like, if you want to go lower, that's fine. But say like 70-80% of that dude's energy got shot into her, overcharged her suit, so she would have had no protections, and then like it went through her, you know. So much in the way that everybody else got hit by Speed Force Lightning, like Hunter Zolomon and Barry Allen and whoever. I think that's going to be giving speed next week. How on earth Mark is in the final episode, because there was a tweet from him yesterday with a little cupcake that looked wonderful. And he was like, "Oh, we just finished filming. So if it is in next week or if he's in any episode after, I don't know how on earth that's happening, right? Because the blade's coming down, Captain Boomerang's blade's coming down, and then just as it's going into him with Red Speed Force, artificial or otherwise, going into from the dagger into the stab, right? And then just before the stab happens, the teleport lightning comes up, right? So what they're going to obviously say is like, no, like Red Death's like, no, or whatever. But it didn't show that Mark was alive. So there's probably going to be an Eric Wallace flashback of her stopping the kill. But if that happens, that just, again, subtracts from her being the Red Death, doesn't it? Because she's stopping a villain's death. You know, if anything, she saved a life. So the whole thing, I don't know. As it stands, I'll give it a 5 out of 10. We'll see how next week goes. I'll give that one a review, and then we'll a score, and then we'll put the episodes together and give it a whole score together. Because obviously you could do the same with Armageddon, Crisis, and everything else, or any two-parter or multiple-part. So yeah, let me know what you thought about it in the comments down below. And you know, I always love reading comments and replying to them. So yeah, see you soon. See you on the next one.